do is I'm gonna present to you guys the session plan that we're gonna have today in training. And the 5 W's are who is involved. For us in the training session that we're gonna have, we're gonna work with cohesion with the midfielders and the defenders, the 4 backs and the 3 midfielders. And then we progress to having the outside mids. The whole emphasis will be on working with the 4 backs and the 3 midfielders. Okay, and then the other 3 guys will come and play on how they will balance the team. Okay, well the 5 W's are who is involved. The 4 backs and the center midfielders are the guys that we're gonna be working with. What needs to get better? Well, from the past games that we had, I think cohesion in between the 4 midfielders needs to be a little tighter, more when we are defending. So transitional moments gotta happen a little quicker when we're attacking as well. So this is what we need to get better at. Cohesion in between midfielders and defenders is something that we need to work on. We're on the field. I would say in the defensive third and middle third of the field is where we struggle the most. I think when the ball is in the final third, it's not as dangerous. Yes, it's a plus if we could win a high ball and press high. But for our purpose, I think we have a lot of the breakdowns come once the ball gets past the half midfield, and we're not able to get the whole group organized. And sometimes certain players are walking behind or they're not recovering on time, so a lot of spaces become big in between the midfielders and the defenders. So when does it happen? When we are defending. So that's the space. Why does it break down? Because the spaces are too big. Most of the times it breaks down, our defending breaks down because the spaces are too big and we're a little disorganized. Either because the 10 doesn't drop on time, or the 6 doesn't press on time, or the 8 doesn't recover on time. So the 3 players, the 3 center mids don't work as a group. And when they do, we do very well, but then there's moments where we forget that we're supposed to be organized and we're supposed to be a compact unit, and it doesn't work when we're not doing that. And we're gonna go with the dynamic warm-up. So we're gonna start today with a dynamic warm-up. It's gonna be done in the 18-yard box. Okay. The second one we're gonna do is it's a game. It's a game with six defending players. So which is the purple team. Okay, 6 defending players plus 3 targets. So when the purple team wins the ball, they're gonna find these targets on this little zone here. Okay, the ball is always gonna be served by one of the target men or an extra player that we have in that area. So whoever the extra player is gonna serve the ball either to the 6 or the 8. If the ball is served to the 8, okay, we're gonna have that 8 dribble into the space. Once he dribbles through those 2 little gates and passes the ball to the 2 or the 3 or the 2, okay, then we're gonna have our back and the 2 defensive midfielders start the press. Okay, and then from there we're gonna see how you guys solve the problem. Allow you guys to think about it, and then solving the problem, and then guiding you guys to see whether we're doing it or we're not. Okay, if we're solving it by ourselves, or do we need some help solving the problem? This line means pass. Okay, this line means dribble. So this is where the guy dribbles, and this line means run. So this is when the guy dribbles through, the 2 has to decide, does he have enough time, or when the guy is dribbling, is he buying enough time for this guy to go and press, for the 2 to come and press. If he does come and press, is the 4 coming to the 11 or the 6 coming to the 11? And those are moments that we have to be able to cover, because we do struggle when the ball comes wide and he leaves his man. If he doesn't have the right timing, he should just hold. Okay? But if he has the right timing, he can step. But if he does step, then the 6 or the 4 gotta be guys covering those gaps. Okay? And then from there we'll build the session. We'll add a 10, we'll continue with it. So the objective, as I said, we will be training the team to have a chain reaction between the point defenders and the center midfielders. We will apply the principles of defending, okay? Pressure, cover and balance, and compactness, which will be pressure, if the guy is pressing, cover, balance, compactness, okay? And then we have two pairs working together. Then we will also have a pressing and a covering. If he's pressing, he should be covering. So always having the principles of defending in mind to be able to defend as a group. Coaching points, I have staying connected, work as a group. So first working in groups of 4 and also in pairs, working the 2 with the 4 or the 5 with the 4 or the 5 with the 3 or the 4 with the 6 or the 6 with the 2, the 8 with the 6. So working in groups and being able to recognize moments when one step in and one is dropping. Okay. Field size that we're going to use is 100 by 62. Okay. The second progression we're going to have is going to be almost the same thing. The only difference is now we have a big game. It's just a live game. The green team is going to start with the ball, and we only have 10 players. They will have 11 players. So now we're going to be working as a unit without the 9. Okay, being able to see if we could solve a problem without the forward. Well, mainly we're going to be focused on the movement of these guys. Okay, the 10, the 6, the 8, the 10. And when we're shifting to one side, how is that going to affect the opposite midfielder, the 7? Or if we're going the other way, we're shifting to the other side, how does it affect this guy as well as that guy? Okay, as a unit, if the whole group moves and one guy doesn't move with us, okay, then a lot of spaces start to happen in the center of the field. It will be better for us if we have spaces happen on the line or on the outside, then spaces happen in the center of the field. So working as a unit is important. So always the ball will start with the green team with number 1, and he'll play out of that, and from there it's going to be live. You guys are going to look to see whether he could go press high, or you have a low line of confrontation, or wait, whatever the situation is given to you. We will be focusing on mainly the 6, the 8, and the 10, how they're coming across and how it affects the 7 and 11, as well as the four defenders. Okay. Objective is the same as before. We want to see that the whole team is reacting as a group and is moving to one side as a group and allowing the space to open up on the weak side only, not to have open spaces on the strong side. The strong side is where the ball is. Okay, coaching points, working as a group, stay organized. Communication, I think this is a big one. Looking at some of the game, actually the last game, communication is key. Knowing when a center back is gonna allow to pass on a player. So whether the other center back gets him or we track them. So those things gotta be worked on a little bit better. And like I said, the ball can go backwards, but it cannot go in between our lines. Okay, the three lines are 1, 2, 3, 4 lines gotta be connected. So not having one line disconnected will become important. And then we're gonna have a full-sided game. The field size is gonna be 120 by 76. It's gonna be 11 by 11. 11 versus 11, and the objective is, we're gonna have to apply what we learned in the previous activities and see if we could solve the problems that the other team is giving us. It's a full game. There's no restrictions, so you're gonna be playing 11 by 11 corners. Everything is involved. Okay, throw-ins, corners, everything is involved, and that's it. This is what we're going to be doing today. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you guys later.